Hola, buenos días. Welcome to another video on Espanol. Slightly different format and place than I usually do, I get it, but I felt like it was important to review or talk about in a video. Some of you guys are watching them. Our topic this week, which is, I get a marker that works. Oh, not this marker. Verbos de go. What is a go verb? Well, I guess I would call it a verb that is irregular in the yo, in the I form of the verb. And it gets its name because it typically ends in go. The yo form of the verb ends in go. Some of these go verbs are also boot verbs, meaning, again, we have our conjugation chart, which all of our different subjects over here. You can draw a boot around the forms that are irregular. In the case of these go verbs, the yo form is extra irregular. It's different than even the rest of it. So, on your list, realistically, there are 4 verbs that are mentioned that are somewhat important to know. I'm just going to go through real quick each one of them. Hacer y poner. Both of these verbs are just standard go verbs. They're actually only irregular in the yo form. So the rest of these, the forms of this verb, follow your normal rules, where you take off the ER and you put a standard ending on it, like tú haces. You put the ES for you make or do. So again, also, if you're not familiar, hopefully you filled out that verb chart. Hacer is to make or to do. Poner is to put or to set. So in the yo form, instead of taking off the ER and putting an O, and we get ako, which hopefully you realize sounds a little weird, it becomes an irregular verb and it ends in go, hago. See? And poner, instead of taking off the ER and putting an O, it ends in go as well, and we have pongo. See? Now, there are 2 verbs on your list that are both go verbs and boot verbs, which is kind of tricky. But one of these you should have already done quite a bit of work with. Tener. Oh, and my cat's going to get in the video. Awesome. Tener is a verb that you use a lot. It means to have. In the yo form, hopefully you recognize it's a go verb. It becomes tengo. All right. The rest of this verb, however, is E to IE. So, tú tienes. In addition to putting the ending on, the ES ending, the E changes to IE. We have tienes. Él, ella, usted tiene. Nosotros tenemos. Remember that the E to IE change does not happen in the nosotros and vosotros forms of the verb. Vosotros tenéis, and then ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. There's one verb that we put on this list because it's a pretty important verb that you are not familiar with, and it also is kind of like this. And that verb is decir. Decir means to say or tell, like tell the truth, or I say something. And this verb, in addition to being a go verb, is a verb that changes from an E to an I in the whole boot format. So, la forma de yo es digo. Digo is I say or I tell. Tú dices. I know it looks like dices, but it's dices. Él, ella, usted dice. And cat's in the way again. Nosotros decimos. Vosotros decís. Ellos, ellas, ustedes dicen. Okay, so those are your examples of how those verbs conjugate. Hopefully it makes sense to you. If you need any additional practice, please let me know. I'll make another video or an assignment for you. Gracias.